Together, I guess, some kind of relationship. 2025! GTA 6! 2025! I might have a son by then! What? Oh my God!
2025? Are you serious, bro? I'm gonna be like 50 years old. I might not even be alive.
2025?
Yo, 2025, man.
Oh! 2025? They made it seem like it was coming out in 2024. Give me the date! 2024, next year. 2025. What am I gonna play until then?
Where's the strip club? When I'm not streaming, I'm going to be busting nuts in that strip club every night for the first week that GTA 6 drops.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. GTA 6 might be one of the most hyped up games of the 21st century. And I mean that literally. People aren't just excited, they're practically detectives at this point. We got folks dissecting GTA 5 online trailers from like a decade ago, zooming in on random NPCs in the background, convinced they cracked some secret Rockstar code. See that blurry billboard in the corner? That's definitely Vice City. You can tell by the palm. No, that's just GTA 5 in Los Santos, where palm trees also exist. But hey, I get it. It's been over 10 years since GTA 5 dropped. And honestly, it's wild to think how long that game has held up. Yet, here we are, all of us itching for something new. At this point, Rockstar could show us a single frame from a car driving down the street, and the internet would explode. We'd analyze the shade of the asphalt and somehow come to the conclusion that GTA 6 is releasing next Tuesday. The anticipation is global at this point, and honestly, I can't blame anyone. If Rockstar even half delivers on the hype, we're probably in for something incredible. But for that exact reason, GTA 6 might not live up to the hype. I mean, how could it? At this point, people aren't just expecting a game, they're expecting a spiritual awakening. Some folks probably think GTA 5 is going to pay their rent, fix the economy, and personally deliver them a grilled cheese sandwich through the screen. Like, what if it's just a really good game? Is that enough anymore? I feel like if GTA 6 doesn't let me own an entire city, manage a space program, and recreate Fast and the Furious stunts in real time, someone's gonna start a petition. That's the danger of hype. It's like a never-ending game of telephone. The longer we wait, the wilder the expectations get. By 2025, people are going to think that GTA 6 comes with free VR headsets and a real-life pet tiger. Look, out of all companies, Rockstar probably has this under control, but I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe. Let's not expect GTA 6 to cure baldness or predict the next solar eclipse. It's okay if it's just a game where we rob banks, drive fast, and occasionally get chased by angry NPCs named Jerry. But how do we get to this point? For that, we had to go to the beginning. Grand Theft Auto in 1997 kicked off things with top-down pixelated mayhem. This is where the chaos began. The formula was simple: steal cars, run over pedestrians, and cause as much destruction as possible. It felt naughty in the best way, giving players the freedom to embrace their inner criminal. What made it special was the sheer novelty of being a bad guy in an open sandbox. It was rough around the edges, but that raw, unfiltered freedom was exactly what made it memorable. No hand-holding, no complex storylines, just pure havoc and a top-down view of your carnage. It felt less like a structured video game and more like a playground where you could blow things up for the fun of it. GTA 2 took that formula and added more grit and structure. With improved graphics, a futuristic city, players found themselves in the middle of gang wars, accepting missions from payphones, and trying to climb the underworld's ranks. The reputation system with different gangs made every action feel impactful. Anger one gang, and suddenly the whole city could turn on you. It wasn't just about chaos anymore, there were consequences. What set GTA 2 apart was its more immersive criminal underworld. Players could choose allegiances, and the world reacted based on their loyalty, or lack of it. It felt like Rockstar was starting to shape what GTA could become, a game where actions mattered beyond just racking up a high score. In GTA 3, they changed everything. This was the game that blew the doors wide open. Introducing a fully realized 3D open world in Liberty City, it wasn't just bigger, it was alive, and for the first time, you could walk around a fully fleshed out city, hijack cars, take on missions, and truly lose yourself in the sandbox. The silent protagonist let the world speak for itself, making players feel like they were living inside their own crime drama. It wasn't just a game, it was the blueprint for modern open world titles. The city felt dangerous and unpredictable. Random car chases, shootouts, and police pursuits could happen at any time. Liberty City wasn't just a backdrop, it was a character in its own right. GTA 3 became the gold standard, with freedom at its core. It was a game that made people say open world games could do many things. GTA Vice City in 2002 cranked the style dial up to 11. Set in the flashy, neon-soaked 80s, Vice City oozed Scarface vibes. From pastel suits to speedboats, the entire game felt like a love letter to Miami and the crime films of the era. Tommy Vercetti, the series' first voice protagonist, brought personality to the chaos, and the soundtrack alone made Vice City feel like a party you never wanted to leave. It was loud, colorful, and the chainsaws were always an option. Vice City's world building was unmatched. The vibrant colors, radio stations, and unforgettable characters created a vibe that felt less like a game and more like a stepping stone into a 1980s action movie. It wasn't just about playing missions anymore, it was about soaking in the perfect atmosphere. In 2004, GTA San Andreas took everything that came before and went bigger, bolder, and buffer. This time, players weren't just confined to one city. San Andreas gave them an entire state, spanning deserts, forests, and bustling urban centers. CJ's story was personal, but the world was all about freedom. You could lift weights, eat too much, or get a new haircut. The customization was unmatched, and for the first time, GTA let you swim. A revolution. The scale of San Andreas was jaw-dropping. It wasn't just a sandbox, it was an entire life simulator wrapped in GTA 5 chaos. Want to race BMX bikes? Go ahead. Rob houses at night? Sure. Pilot fighter jets? Why not? San Andreas wasn't just a sequel, it was a game that felt limitless. When GTA 4 was released in 2004, it steered into darker, grittier territory. Liberty City returned, but this time it felt less like a playground and more like a living, breathing city. Nico Bellic's immigrant story grounded the game in realism, and the physics engine made every car crash, shootout, and drunken stumble feel hilariously lifelike. The weighty driving and moody atmosphere made GTA 4 feel more like a gritty crime drama than a sandbox, and it was glorious. GTA 4 was also Rockstar's first real attempt at moral ambiguity. Nico's story wasn't just about climbing the criminal ladder, it was about survival, regret, and chasing the American dream. It felt more human, even though you launched rockets and helicopters from rooftops. And with GTA 5, it didn't just raise the bar, it shattered it. With 3 playable protagonists, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, the game told a layered story from multiple angles. Los Santos was stunningly detailed, and players could lose hours just driving around, skydiving, or robbing gas stations. But GTA 5's true secret weapon was GTA Online. What started as a simple multiplayer mode grew into an empire, keeping the game alive with heists, custom businesses, and total online anarchy. Even 10 years later, it's still thriving to this day. GTA 5 felt like Rockstar flexing. The seamless character switching, massive open world, and endless side content made it feel like 3 games in one. But the addition of GTA Online turned Los Santos into a platform for wild player-driven stories that made GTA 5's legacy practically untouchable. But with all that being said, what's the special sauce? What's the thing that made Grand Theft Auto one of the best video game franchises of all time? It's not just the cars or the shootouts or even the meticulously crafted worlds though. Don't get me wrong, those help, but no. The secret ingredient? Freedom. Pure, unfiltered, chaotic freedom. GTA doesn't just give you missions, it hands you a fully stocked playground of anarchy and says go nuts. You can follow the story, or you can spend 3 hours launching your car off mountains and trying to land on top of a random hot dog stand. And somehow, both experiences feel equally valid. Other open world games have side quests, GTA have side lives. One minute you're robbing a bank, the next you're doing yoga by the beach, and after that, you're getting chased by half the police force because you thought flying a jet through downtown sounded like a good idea. There's just something so beautifully reckless about the whole thing. Let's talk about the writing. Sure, on the surface, GTA looks like an action game, but peel back the layers and it's satire at its finest. Every GTA is like a love letter and a roast of modern society rolled into one. The world of GTA feels familiar, almost too familiar, but with just enough ridiculousness to keep it entertaining. It's like watching the world through a funhouse mirror. Plus, there's the immersion. Rockstar doesn't just build cities, they build ecosystems. Pedestrians argue on the sidewalk, radio hosts complain about gas prices, and random events pull you into weird little moments that feel unscripted. Every corner of the map feels like it has a story, even if that story is just some dude running down the street in his underwear being chased by a cop. At the end of the day, GTA is one of the best video game series of all time because it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it also respects the player's time. It lets you live whatever fantasy you want, whether that's becoming a criminal mastermind or just cruising around listening to 80s hits. That's the special sauce. But do you ever notice how hype can be a double-edged sword? One minute you're watching a trailer thinking this is going to be the greatest game of all time, and the next you're staring at a glitchy mess wondering how it all went wrong. The gaming industry has this wild ability to turn excitement into crushing disappointment. And sometimes the fallout is so bad it takes the entire studio down with it. Let's talk about those games. The ones that had all the trailers, all the promises, and none of the execution. The ones that were supposed to break the mold but instead broke our hearts, and maybe even our consoles. First, we have Anthem. Anthem was BioWare's shot at redemption, a game that was supposed to merge the deep storytelling of Mass Effect with the adrenaline-pumping co-op loot grind of Destiny. They had flying exosuits, lush alien worlds, and the kind of trailer that made you want to call in sick just to play it. Anthem looked like the next big thing, the game that could dominate the live server scene for years. Instead, it felt like Bioware made the Iron Man flight mechanics first and forgot about the rest of the game. The world was hollow, the missions were repetitive, and the story, well, let's just say there wasn't much of one to begin with. Bioware tried to save it, announcing a huge reboot by 2021, even that got scrapped. Anthem faded away, and Bioware had to retreat to familiar ground with Mass Effect and Dragon Age, just trying to stay in the fight. And speaking of, let's not forget Mass Effect Andromeda. This was Bioware's chance to expand the Mass Effect universe, exploring new galaxies, and creating a whole new cast of heroes. Andromeda was supposed to be a fresh start, one that brought back the spirit of discovery that defined the original trilogy. Instead, we got weird facial animations and characters who looked like they were having a stroke mid-conversation. The story felt generic, and the villains were forgettable at best. Bioware patched the game, but by then the damage was done. Planned DLC got scrapped, and the Mass Effect went into hibernation for years. Andromeda wasn't just a stumble, it nearly killed the franchise. And then there's Aliens Colonial Marines. This could have been the ultimate Aliens experience. Gearbox hyped it up as a love letter to the iconic movie franchise, tense firefights, intelligent xenomorphs hunting you in dark atmospheric environments. For Aliens fans, this was the holy grail. Instead, the xenomorphs were brain dead. A single typo in the game's code literally broke the AI, causing aliens to wander aimlessly instead of attacking players. The environments looked half-finished, and the whole game felt nothing like the trailers. Fans were furious, lawsuits were filed, and Colonial Marines became the poster child for false advertising in gaming. Then there was Duke Nukem Forever in 2011. Now, this one is legendary, and not in a good way. Development started in 1997. Yep, 1997, and by the time it was actually released in 2011, the only thing it had going for it was the fact that it finally existed. People expected Duke's return to be throwback to classic 90s shooters with all over-the-top action and crude humor this series was known for. But what they got felt like a game that had time travel from 1999, clunky mechanics, stale jokes, and visuals that look a decade old. Duke Nukem Forever wasn't just bad, it was embarrassing. Gearbox finished it, but 3D Realms folded, and Duke hasn't been the same since. Sometimes it turns out forever is too long. And last but not least, we have Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, who wasn't hyped for this one when it originally came out? CD Projekt Red had built up so much goodwill from The Witcher 3 that people thought they could do no wrong. The trailers were jaw-dropping, a massive neon-lit open world, Keanu Reeves out of nowhere, and promises of player-driven storytelling that would change RPGs forever. Cyberpunk wasn't just a game, it was an event for the ages. Until launch day, on PC it was barely holding together. But on consoles, a disaster. Glitches, crashes, NPCs doing the Macarena through walls, the whole thing just felt unfinished. Some missions wouldn't even start, and performance on older systems was so bad Sony pulled it from the PlayStation Store. Refunds piled up, and while CD Projekt Red eventually patched the game into something respectable, their launch left a scar. Cyberpunk survived, but CD Projekt Red's golden reputation, not so much. Hyping gaming is a powerful force. It can elevate a project to legendary status, or drag it into infamy. It fuels excitement, drives pre-orders, and creates communities eager for something new. But when a game fails to meet the towering expectations built around it, the fallout can be severe. Disappointment isn't just personal, it's public and loud, echoing across forums and social media, turning what could be a triumphant launch into a spectacle of failure. This doesn't mean I don't have any faith in GTA 6 whenever it comes out. Seriously, I'll have back problems by the time this game drops. Oh, who am I kidding? I already have them. But let's be real, the wait is borderline comical at this point. Rockstar's been teasing us like they're cooking the last game humanity will ever need. Every leak sends the internet into a frenzy. Someone spots a blurry palm tree in GTA Online and suddenly Vice City is confirmed. I half expect the next update to include a hidden message in Morse code, and you know someone will decode it within minutes, convince the points to a 2028 release date. But here's the thing, I'd rather wait and get something incredible than rush it out and risk disappointment. Rockstar's got a reputation for delivering, and if anyone can walk that tightrope of hype and execution, it's them. Still, I won't pretend I'm not terrified. The bar isn't just high, it's in space. If GTA 6 isn't practically curing insomnia and paying off student loans by the time it launches, someone somewhere is going to call it a flop. And honestly, I don't blame them. We've been patient, but patience can only hold out for so long. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications. I'm not saying that GTA 6 is going to be a flop. In no way I think it is, but I truly think we need to level our expectations a little bit, because I've noticed that the GTA 5 community especially has been overly to the moon when it comes to this stuff, and it's kind of insane. I do think GTA 6 is going to be easily the game of the year, or it's going to get pushed back to 2026 or 2030. I honestly I've lost faith at this point of it even getting released at all. But I hope it does come out, and I hope it becomes a great game, and I hope they take their time with it and not just rush out a bad product. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, like, subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications. I hope you guys all had a happy new year, and here's to a fantastic 2025. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.